Welcome to our new wrestling series, where we play General Manager Mode, but with Pokemon? We're gonna start things off with the 2 popularity promos. Alright, let's see who we got. Spin the wheel! Machamp and Blaziken. Alright. Oh, that's really cool, actually. The Intercontinental Champion getting a promo. And yeah, we'll see what we can do with Blaziken, too. Alright, let's start the show. We start with Monday Night Raw, hosted by Eterna City. But before we get into our first match, we go backstage to the locker rooms. We see Incineroar stretching and limbering up, perhaps getting ready for a match tonight. But Incineroar senses the presence of someone.
Who's there?
The eerie presence is revealed to be the sly salamander that is Salazzle. Salazzle says,
"So, this is our world champion. The fiery feline from Alola, the shadows of the jungle. I might even say the king of the jungle. But if you're going to be king, then surely you would have an army. With such a desirable piece of gold around your waist, you must have a big target on your back. Maybe we can align forces to become the most unstoppable force of the company."
Incineroar starts laughing and says,
Look at me. Does it look like I need help? I'm already the most unstoppable force in this company. You would only be weighing me down.
Incineroar leaves the room feeling high and mighty, while Salazzle has an annoyed expression on their face. We now head down to the ring to see Grapploct holding a microphone. It looks like they have a slightly disgusted look on their face.
I don't think I have ever been so uninterested and bored in a place like Eterna City.
The crowd starts booing.
Old, faded, and almost forgotten. Just like the dinosaurs that live in this place.
As Grapploct keeps pandering with the crowd, the boos get increasingly worse.
I mean, sure, it's enriched with some history where legendary fables are told, yada yada yada. But I assure you, Eterna City is nothing compared to my hometown, the amazing Sirchester.
We hear a voice from the crowd that says,
Sirchester is old too.
The crowd starts laughing, while Grapploct becomes enraged.
Who said that? Huh? Who was that?
The crowd starts chanting,
Sirchester! Sirchester! Sirchester!
Grapploct says,
I will show you the true meaning of how we handle things in Sirchester. I dare anyone to come down to the ring right now.
Grapploct starts pointing to members of the crowd, enticing them to get into the ring. But then it is Beware's theme music that hits, with Grapploct looking kind of scared. This will be our match 1. The Octopus of 1,000 Holds, Grapploct, versus the Bear Hugger, Beware. As soon as the bell rings, Grapploct rolls out of the ring to taunt with the crowd. Every time Beware tries to grab Grapploct, they keep moving in and outside the ring, until Beware finally captures them off guard and gives them a big bear hug. But Grapploct manages to grab the ropes to be freed of Beware's grapple, and the match continues. But it is Beware that is the victor of match 1. Now before we move on to match 2, we are told that Blaziken has requested a match against the world champion Incineroar, which Sableye has confirmed will happen tonight for the main event. We move on to match 2, which will be Lucario versus Ursaring. Now, not a lot of story is going into this match, but getting a win in the first week could help cement a spot for a championship opportunity. Ursaring tries to take control of the match with their intimidation and heelish tactics, but it is Lucario that will win the match. After match 2, we head to the locker rooms. Though we're not sure whose locker room it is, we do see the temper tantrums, Annihilape and Primeape. They seem to be looking for something, while trying not to be seen. Annihilape whispers,
They've got to be here somewhere. Keep looking.
Wait, I think they're in this bag.
Beautiful. Grab them, let's go.
We can't quite capture what it is they're holding, but they scurry out of the locker room. After what we can only describe as a strange rummaging session, we head down to the ring as we see the Intercontinental Champion, Machamp, asking for a microphone. Machamp says,
"What makes World Championship material? Is it super strength? Is it untouchable charisma? Or is it a lovable voice adored by the public? Well, whatever it is, I think we all know that Sableye has not a single clue about World Championship material. If they have a single functioning brain cell, they would know that I'm a bigger draw than Incineroar in all attributes. But instead,
Machamp slowly pulls up their title.
I'm left with this mid-card championship. I can't believe they chose a wrestler from Alola out of all regions. Has anyone even heard of Alola? There's a reason why they need Kanto to inhabit 50% of the population. But enough talk. I want to see someone from that locker room come to this ring and show me what World Championship material is.
After a bit of time has passed, it is Ludicolo's theme music that hits. Machamp facepalms as they feel like Ludicolo isn't a worthy opponent. Nevertheless, they get ready for the match. As the bell rings, Machamp tries to grapple Ludicolo, but Ludicolo manages to dodge the move and start dancing in celebration. But Machamp goes for another grapple and ends up with the same result. Every time Ludicolo dances, the crowd cheers for them. But even with Ludicolo's footwork, Machamp wins the match in the hopes of proving their point to the general manager. But while Machamp is celebrating on the top rope, we see Lucario come out to the stage area, staring down the Intercontinental Champion, possibly wanting a chance at the gold. Machamp has an angry look on their face. We stay in the ring for Match 4. Match 4 is a bout between Pangoro versus Mienshao. Mienshao tries to use their elegance and dancing style to get the upper hand at the start of the match. But it looks like Pangoro is the dominant force for most of the fight and gets an easy win, being the first squash match of the series. We now head backstage to the interviewing area as we see Blaziken with the interviewer. "Hey guys, I'm here with Blaziken. So Blaziken, we've been told that you've requested a match against the world champion Incineroar. Are you possibly trying to be the #1 contender for this title? Any thoughts on how the match will go tonight?"
I've dealt with a lot of Incineroars in my time. They always think they're special. They're nothing special, and this one's no different. They're arrogant and delusional, and that will be their downfall tonight. Every fight I've had with loudmouth bullies have prepared me for this match. You haven't faced anyone like me, Incineroar. I'm coming for that World Championship title, and I'm gonna take it.
Blaziken exits the interviewing area. Next up is match 5 with a tag team match between the tag team champions, the Black Belts, 𝒐𝒏 and Throh, versus the Temper Tantrums, Annihilape and Primeape. We see Annihilape and Primeape enter the ring first, but there seems to be some sort of delay with the tag team champions. Annihilape and Primeape start asking questions to the ref to try and figure out what is going on. A few seconds later, 𝒐𝒏 and Throh's theme music eventually hits. They seem a bit more reluctant than their usual selves. As we see them walk down the rampway, it is revealed that they are wearing white belts instead of their traditional black belts. Annihilape and Primeape look as if they're trying to hold back laughter. Despite the setback, it is 𝒐𝒏 and Throh that prevail and get their first victory. After the match though, the tag team champions walk over to the defeated team.
Did you really think you could get away with stealing our black belts? You have brought dishonor to the tag team division and to this company.
As soon as they turn their backs, Annihilape and Primeape start attacking them from behind, repeatedly mole stomping them until they lose the will to fight back. Annihilape and Primeape head backstage with wicked smiles on their faces, with 𝒐𝒏 and Throh left in the ring. A lot of stories have unfolded tonight, but we still have our main event, which is coming up next between our fierce challenger, Blaziken, versus the WPW champion, Incineroar. This is a massive opportunity for Blaziken to beat the world champion week 1. Incineroar starts aggressive, possibly influenced by what Blaziken said in the interview. But Incineroar's hot-headed actions causes them to lose focus, and Blaziken capitalizes on the champ's mistakes. But the match goes back and forth until we get near the end of the match. It looks like Blaziken is the dominant wrestler, but all of a sudden, Salazzle makes an appearance and jumps up to the ring apron. They try to get the referee's attention while both wrestlers look confused. But while the referee isn't looking, Incineroar seizes the opportunity and gives Blaziken an eye poke, followed by their finishing move, the malicious moonsault. As Incineroar goes for the pin, the referee diverts their attention back into the ring to give a free count. As much as they wanted to show that they could be the #1 contender, Blaziken could not get the win. While Incineroar tries to recover their strength back, they notice Salazzle is holding the world championship. They intensely stare at each other for a few seconds until Salazzle hands the belt over to the champ, then raising their arm high in victory. Incineroar gives an evil smirk, possibly implying this was the plan from the very beginning. That concludes week 1 of Raw. We're gonna move on now to the Power 25 and the popularities. This part is always really fun for me. We're gonna go from lowest to highest. Most of the order is still gonna kind of be alphabetical, but some things have changed. Sadly, of course, because Blaziken had a popularity promo and they lost, they are starting things off at the bottom. Commiserations. Ursaring, of course, losing their first match. I mean, they do start with the letter U, so that doesn't really help, but yeah, they're going to be 14. Primeape is going to stay exactly where they are, losing their match at 13. Mienshao getting absolutely squashed is going to be number 12. It looked like some of the fans liked Ludicolo, but they're going to be number 11. I'm sure the 𝑷𝒐𝒏 crowd will be so proud that Grapploct is now number 10. The other half of the Temper Tantrums, number 9, Annihilape. Salazzle, who didn't have a match but was involved with the main event, has gone up to number 8. Pangoro, looking very strong and dominant, is going to be number 7. Ooh, Lucario bumping up to number 6. That's going to be cool, actually, because there's some possible stuff happening with Machamp. Oh my god, Beware at number 5. I mean, that's mostly because they start with the letter B, but yeah, they are in contention for the World Championship thanks to their win. Of course, next we have the Tag Team Champions, Throh and 𝑷𝒐𝒌𝒆𝒏 at number 4 and 3. Your reigning Intercontinental Champion, Machamp, had a great promo and a great match. They're going to be number 2. But of course, who is going to beat the big jungle cat Incineroar is number 1 for Raw. Alright, now we're going to casually go through the popularities. Blaziken, unfortunately, at 16 popularity. That's so unfortunate for them. Let's see if they can rise back to the top. We've got a lot of 18s here. I'm pretty sure all these wrestlers lost their match, and that's why they're here. We got Ursaring, Primeape, Mienshao, Ludicolo, Grapploct, and Annihilape. Salazzle's going to stay at the 20 spot. Pangoro, Lucario, and Beware got a nice 21. 𝒐𝒌𝒆𝒏 and Throh at the 24. Oh, but look at this, though. After Machamp was saying he's on Incineroar's level, popularity-wise, that is definitely the case because they are both 26. But we're going to end it here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to check my Twitter if you want any updates. But we're next going to see you on week 1 of SmackDown. And rumors have been flying around that there's going to be an 8-wrestler elimination tournament. See you then.